Why does the black man serve the white man? Why does everything the black man do benefit the white man? Why does the black man say freedom is doing what I want to do? And why is it that everything he wants to do enriches the European?
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Is black folks are running out of time in America. Let's see. The description goes the cultural conscious community has no sense of urgency or a vision for the future of black folks, and time is running out. What's up, Raj? Big Brother R in the chat. Peace to you. Deontay Ford is in the building.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Jabari Lamb is in the building.
Sorry, everybody. I was on mute. How's everybody doing?
Doing good, bro.
I'm gonna change this avatar, so give me a minute.
Hmm.
Yeah, we'll give me a minute, and then we'll get started. Because this is a conversation we're gonna need to have.
Yes, much needed. Hey, you can even go on video if you want to. You too. I don't have my camera set up. I would do it too.
All right, I can try that.
Oh, what's up, Deontay?
What's up, y'all? Sorry I'm late. Sometimes I get caught in babysitter land, so it's what it is.
So, are we running out of time, Deontay?
Out of time. We've been on borrowed time since what, the 80s? But I think the hourglass is just about empty. At this point, if you don't have your 5-year plan or your 2-year plan or your 3-year plan, you are asking for the absolute worst end result. So
Are you talking about an exit strategy?
absolutely, my brother. It's about that time. So
Okay, um, so apparently, my camera is not active right now, so I can't turn on my camera, which is unfortunate.
The logo's fine.
Yeah, I'm about to put the ultimate one though. I gotta put the ultimate out of respect. You have to do this with respect.
Liberia centric.
Yes, indeed. All right, that's the better one. We gonna do that. That's better. All right.
Hey, that's what's up.
Yeah. So today's topic is Black folks are running out of time in America. Now I know where y'all thinking, where is this coming from? Um, by the way, if you can, make sure to follow us on all the major platforms: Facebook, uh, Instagram, YouTube. Make sure you do that. So we're trying to stream this on all different platforms. So make sure you do that. But today's conversation is Black folks are running out of time in America. And the reason why we're having this conversation is this came as a result of a discussion that I was having with me and Hala. Now, I have been fascinated with all of the major technologies that have come out of China. China has been doing a lot of progression in terms of its AI, in terms of its high-speed rails, in terms of just infrastructure. And so that just got me to start asking questions. How long would it take for us to build what we wanted to build? And I brought up the first simple example of high-speed rails. How long did it take for China to do these high-speed rails? Because obviously China's high-speed rails have increased from 2008 to 2025 right now. That's when it's grown exponentially. But when did it first start? And so I did research and just asked questions about when China first was concepting the first high-speed rail. So it appeared that it came from Deng Xiaoping when he was visiting Japan. He had this dream, and this was happening in the year 1978. So this was just after Mao Zedong had died. This is when Tolbert is still in office. Okay, this is when he had his first dream of a high-speed rail, or the concept of a high-speed, something high-speed. The first high-speed rail starts being planned and discussed in the early 1990s, 1990 to around 1993. That is 35 to 32 years ago, y'all. Okay, this was almost a decade before I was born. Older than my brother. This was before my brother was born. And what we are seeing in China with this high-speed rail is a result of 30 years of planning. The first high-speed rail was planned, like I said, planned, designed in the early 1990s, built by 1999. It did not open until 2003. And then the first one that went to a city from Beijing to Tianjin, I think, was in 2008. And that's where you see the kickoff of high-speed rails ever since then. So from 1990 until the takeoff of China's high-speed rail, that is 18 years. Full adult, like born to adulthood time period. And if we're including the dream of Deng Xiaoping, that's 50 years ago, 30 years ago, 30 years in total from when he dreams of it to Beijing to Tianjin. Deng Xiaoping doesn't even see this stuff happen. The reason why I'm telling y'all this is because we have a propensity as Black people to just talk about we're going to build this and we need to do this. And we're telling y'all that if we want to do this, if we want to put our minds to it, we have to do it now. Like, we have to do this stuff immediately. You cannot keep kicking this stuff down the road, kicking the can down the road, because this takes years to build. I was then this made me go on a shoot of other things, right? The Chinese app that we recently know as RedNote, that launched in 2013 around the same time that Instagram was around. WeChat and them have been around almost 15 years. These stuffs are not new. This stuff has been there for years. You talk about how long it takes to build skyscrapers, ports, satellite communities. This stuff takes decades. I'm talking on the range of 15 to 25 years. And that is optimization. That is if everything goes perfect. You're talking about minimum, I'll give a little bit more lenient, 12 to 25 years. That means if we as Black folks said, our time has ran out here in America, let's go build our nation right now. If we started right now, just started tomorrow, Black folks, we got together, we came to the conclusion, we are going to build something, we're going to build something for ourselves in Liberia. If we wanted to build something in Liberia, the earliest all of it would get done, hospitals, university, apartments, skyscrapers, grocery store, 2037. And if there's any delays, any bureaucratic nonsense, any foolishness, It could be 2040 to 2045 before everything gets done. We can't be playing. And I think that's the thing we don't grasp. It's time. We think stuff just happens in 2 to 3. No, a lot of this stuff that we're seeing is a fruition of 30, 40 years. I know Hollop asked, how long would it take for us to renovate the airport? How long would it take for us to build ports? I got the answer to those questions as well. So let's say we were supposed to renovate, do just small, minor renovations. We're talking about limited disruption to operations, straightforward procurement. We're talking about like seating, retail space, and HVAC systems. We're not even minor runway repairs, okay, or cosmetic improvements. We're not talking about anything major. That will take us 1 to 2 years. That means, again, if we started right now and said we are going to renovate the Monrovia Port, just minor renovations, that stuff will be done by 2026 or 2027. If we want to do moderate renovations, that means runway resurfacing, control tower modernization. I'm talking about moderate stuff, coordination. Now we would have to do with contractors and phase construction to limit, shutdowns or delays. We're talking about 2 to 4 years. Again, that means if we were to start tomorrow to renovate Robertsport International Airport, we would not get done until minimally at the earliest 2027 and at the absolute latest 2029. And if you talk about some major stuff like major terminal constructions, new runways, advanced navigation, I'm talking about modernization, we will not have that. If we were to start tomorrow, okay, it would not be done until between 2029 in 2032. It will take 4 to 7 years to do major renovations to that international airport.
After you're done, I'm going to have a sobering conversation with the audience.
Now let's talk about the ports. Let's talk about the ports because I know you've been itching about that. Itching about the ports. Okay, so let's say we were to build ports. I'm just doing building new ports in the major areas, not even renovating Monrovia Airport, okay? We're going to talk about some of the major areas. We're just going to say Greenville, Harper, Robertsport. These are coastal cities in Liberia, okay? So if we had the funding, we're excluding the funding because if we didn't have the funding, it would take 1 to 3 years. But we're just going to assume hypothetically that we have the funding. It will take 1 to 2 years for us to do whether or not this is feasible in the design, okay? If we wanted to do what's called environmental and social impact assessment, because you can't just build a port and you just completely ignore the forest and the environment around it, because especially in Sino, there are huge forests. You have South Park National Park. You can't just build a port and just not factor in the environment. So after we've done that, that takes an additional 1 to 2 years. And again, if it's going through sensitive ecosystems, that can be even longer. Okay, so that's 1 to 2 years from the feasibility, design, and from environment impact assessments, okay? Now let's say we wanted to actually construct it. Okay, that's going to take us 3 to 5 years. Longer if that is any areas with rough seas or shallow coast, okay? Now, what about road and rail links? Because we're going to need road and rails. That's going to take us 2 to 3 years if it don't even exist, okay? If the existing infrastructure doesn't even exist, that's an additional 2 to 3 years. Okay, so realistically, optimistically, per port, it will take us 5 to 7 years. Again, if it's funding, if it's politically prioritized, meaning there's political will and there's minimal disruptions, we'll get it done by the earliest. Again, if we start tomorrow, 2030 to 2032, realistically, if we account for delays, bureaucratic nonsense, funding, foolishness, community disputes, we're talking about 7 to 10 years. Again, we wouldn't get done until 2032 to 2035 if we wanted to build these ports along Liberia's coastlines. It might even take 12 years, 15 years. That's just the ports, y'all, in the airport. We ain't even talking about the satellite community. We ain't even got to the universities. We ain't even got to building schools and grocery stores. We ain't even got to that yet. And that's what we have to do. Just to make those things that we have look good. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's definitely it's. Do you believe and are you committed? Because again, like I stated, this is stuff that you can't just do in 1 to 2 years. You have to understand this is going to be a multi-decade project. And if you are not willing to spend a multi-decade project, then what are you doing? Mm-hmm. That's exactly the truth. That's exactly what you're doing. You're doing all that infrastructure for industrial capacity and research. Okay. So speaking of infrastructure, let's go because we talk about infrastructure. But let's go down the list. I'm giving y'all the full breakdown to understand this is not stuff to play. This is not time to be skanking, joking. Like this is what we're up against. This is what you actually have to do to make something successful. Okay. So let's say, for example, we wanted to build a small black community in Liberia. We're just gonna say a small black community. We're not even gonna use the sophisticated. We're gonna do a simple black community that accounts for maybe about 1,000 people. Okay. That will take us. We're talking about 1,000 people. We're not talking about major stuff, okay? We're talking about maybe 1 to 2 years building high-scale apartments and all that. If we're talking about building a moderate that accompanies like 60,000 people, that's going to take about 60,000 people, that's 15 to 25 years. And if you're talking about something between 20 and 50,000, that takes about 10 years. You want to have a commercial buildings, high-rise apartment, that's fine. That's going to take you 5 to 7 years. Oh, you want those hospitals? Again, those hospitals, public spaces, that's cool. That's going to take 4 to 6 years. You want university and research lab, top-notch one, specialized facilities. That's cool. That's going to take 6 to 8 years. You want additional development. That's cool. That's going to take another 6 to 8 years. This is why we have some of us, and I'm an extremely patient individual. But this is why there are some people who do not have patience or get furious or get upset. Because the reality of it is China is where Africa should be had black folks had gotten their act together 30 years ago. Had black folks got their act together 30 years ago, we could have been in the China situation. Again, now that's not to say China's perfect because China's got its own issues. China's not, Thanos, and China's not, the second coming of Oladamare, second coming of Jesus. I'm not saying China is this panacea. But what China has been able to do has been nothing short of historic in human history. And had we got our stuff together and we were serious about it, we could be enjoying that. We could have been enjoying the fruits of that labor in Buchanan, in Nimba, in Ganta, in Zawedru, in Kakata, in Sestos, in Robertsport, in Bomi. But now we don't. Excuse me, we don't. We're back to square one. So I gave the monologue. People can comment. People can comment. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, give your opinion, give your thoughts, because this is what it is. This is what it is.
Do you see what's on the screen?
Yes, I do.
I think that's what I'm. Hey, y'all. Good morning. I'm about to pass it to you, big bro. I know you about to cook on your point, but as you was talking, Bari, I couldn't help but like, because I'm listening to you and I'm thinking like, I'll be the electrician on the site, right? And I'm like, yeah, that's about the right amount of time. Yeah, that's about the right amount of time. But as I'm thinking and listening to you cook, Bari, I'm like, okay, but what are we going to be doing if nothing changes? If we just keep doing everything that we're doing, talking about the next election cycle, talking about when somebody black get armed, right? Going over the same stuff. Oh, Umar Johnson back. Oh, Puffy. Oh, this. All of the distractions. Just think. Don't even think about 5 years from now. Think about 5 years ago, y'all. Think about 2020. Everybody listening. 2020. You know Y2K. Now think about Black America. Think about Black consciousness. Think about how popular we were on YouTube and all the other stuff was going on. And then look at us today in 2020 effing 5. If we don't do anything, y'all, nothing is gonna happen. No one is gonna come save us. That's all I'm gonna say before I start this whole diatribe. But that's all I wanted to point out. If we don't look at nothing that Jabbar was mentioning and make a move, nothing is gonna happen. It's gonna get very worse for us.
And to factor that in, when we do want to get something, let's say black people actually suddenly realize, okay, we need to do something. By that time, it's too late, because guess what? We got to factor in all of the years that I just told the audience how long it takes to build infrastructure. So once we get together and realize, oh yeah, we need to actually build something. Well, damn, we still got to go through. It's going to take that same amount of years. Unless you got some artificial super intelligence that just is able to morph our current understanding, it's going to take you that long. We cannot escape that reality. If we want to do something, it's got to be understanding that this is a multi-decade project. I want to actually bring up what brother Umoja talked about Umar Johnson, because that really, I was thinking about that yesterday. Umar Johnson started collecting donations in 2009. He first went on the Breakfast Club, I think around, I'm going to give lenience, I'm going to say 2013, 2015. That's when he was on the Breakfast Club around that time. 2013 to 2015. That means, I don't think y'all, let me put that in time perspective so y'all understand. If you were a black child when Umar Johnson first went on the Breakfast Club, first got public notoriety around 2013, 2015. I mean, he was in Hidden Colors back in like those early Hidden Colors. But if you were a black child in 2013, let's say you were 5 years old, 6 years old, okay, you are 17 going on 18 years old. That means when Umar Johnson first came on the stage, like I said, 2013, 2015, talking about the school, you were 5, 6 years old. You were a pre-K. You were in kindergarten, maybe first grade. Now you are about to graduate high school and head to college. I will never forget, there was a black teen who years later said, hey, yo, in the black community, y'all got to do better. Hey, Umar Johnson, y'all got to be better. Because he was a little child. He was like 7 years old at the time. This was like in 2022. He was like 7, 8 at the time. And when he did that video in 2022, he was like, 15, 16, 17. So because we was skanking around, because the conscious community want to skank around, want to money hustle, want to shake and bake people of their money, shake a money dry, all of those students or children who were children at the time that were supposed to be going to Umar school now are adults, or they're in high school or about to graduate. Some of the kids already got kids. If you was born in 05, 04, and 03, or around my age, this is what we mean by time. How much time has been wasted? The damage that has been done by the conscious community. The children who were first exposed to conscious community in the 2010s, we're now adults. We're not children anymore.
Yep. And the conscious community has zero to show for anything that they talk about. What do we get out of the conscious community? Now we have an ADOS and FBA movement. That's what we got out of that. We got people being scammed, and that turned into what? FBA and ADOS. Now all of a sudden we're 1 cent Indians. That's what we got out of that. That's what we got. So at this point, I don't know about anybody else, but unless we can own something here, be it an electric power plant or water power plant or something of tangible substance, we're basically done. Or at least the people who choose to stay here are done. So it's we're out of time as far as I'm concerned.
That's what it is. And I just need people, if there's nothing else that you take from this, understand the importance of time. Understand the true scale of time. We think, again, I'm relatively young. Even for me, it's stunning for me to remember that 2010 was 15 years ago. Like, the people who during that time are now about to be adults. They're in high school about to be adults. Not as if you were born exactly in that year. I need y'all to understand the importance of time. Because like I stated, when we get those satellite communities done, when we keep doing what we're doing, when we're in motion, right? Because that's one of the things one of our great sisters always tells us, be in motion. When we get stuff finished, based on the time frame that I just told you, hey, you're right. But by that time, think about it. By the time that happens, brother, we all gonna be dead, or we all gonna be senior citizens. I mean, just by the time frame that I just said, that I gave to everybody, okay? The time frame that I just gave to everybody. Many of us I will be approaching middle age when all this stuff gets done. I will literally be in middle age period when this stuff gets done. If you somebody like a Halib, or you somebody like Umoja or somebody, it might be past retirement when all this comes into fruition.
Yeah.
Look, hey, god dang, man, why I gotta be? I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you.
It just shows how long this is going to take. That when we see some of the fruits of what we bore, we're all going to be elders. We're going to be senior citizens, middle-aged. That's what our people truly need, and that's what I try to do every day. Try to make the best of it and try to do things because it takes time, and time is not always on our side. One of the things that I regret when I was in college was that I wasted a lot of time. When I could have been friends with people, when I could have studied, I blew that time off. Guess what? I can't get that time back. We can't get those 5 years back from 2020, 2025. We can't get those years back. We can't get those years from the 2010s, from the conscious community. We can't get those years back. And so we really have to ask and take this stuff serious. Take it to heart. That's what drives me every day.
Big bro was gonna say something.
Yeah, he's having connection issues. We hold down the fort for him. He said he'd be right back.
It's one of those things that a lot of us have had to accept that we're not going to be here when we see things come into fruition. And one of the saddest things when we look at our great country, Liberia, is the people who died and then didn't realize that after they died, their country was going to be destroyed. That their country was going to go down the drain. Imagine being Tubman. Imagine being Talbert. Imagine being Nettie C.L. Burnell. Nettie C.L. Burnell died in 79. You died thinking your country is in the best shape of its life. Your country got a good university. You fought, you defended the country. And then a year later, everything comes crumbling down and you gone. You left this earth with a country intact, and then a year later, it all vanishes and it gets destroyed. I hope that doesn't happen to us. And
already happened.
We're going to make sure that ain't going to happen.
Yeah. That's why one of my things with Liberia that I point out that I bring such an emphasis on, like paying more attention to, is rebuilding its military for a modern standard. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like making sure we have a naval fleet, an air force, a ground force that's not only going to be loyal and dedicated, but trained and equipped to the modern standard. We're going to have the infrastructure to support them, like an anti-air defense system. You're going to, you want to make sure that country, what happened in 1980 can't ever happen again, or if somebody does try, we'll be more than prepared for them.
I mean, true, but most importantly, you gotta instill
a sense of national pride.
Yeah, you gotta instill national pride. You gotta educate the population and ensure that if somebody tries to pull that foolishness, they're gonna be dealt with. I mean, we gotta instill love. We gotta instill, a sense of responsibility, a sense of professionalism, a sense of duty. We have to instill that in our people. We're doing that right now, and that's the reason why we're doing it. We have to get the people to understand the circumstances we are in. We have to get people to understand the gravity of the situation, the amount of time it's going to take, the amount of energy, work, time, all of that, obstacles that we're going to have to face.
Yeah, it's just yeah, and honestly, Liberia is floating on so many natural resources, bro. We really don't need anybody. We may need some help here and there, but otherwise, as far as sustaining ourselves, you know, that country should be at least 50 years ahead of where it is now. And it's a bit it's a huge massive disappointment to see where it is now versus what it could be.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
at the
mean, think about it. Think about it. Just to fully grasp that notion. If you were a Liberian and you were born in the year 1910 or the year 1909, you lived in a Liberia that was better suited than Liberians born in 2025 or
Mhm.
Liberians born in the year 2020. You
Right,
had running water. You had electricity.
and
You
gas.
you had actual mills and factories. You actually had a university that people went to. You had top tier hospitals, top tier hotels. And again, you were born in the year 1920, the year 1910, clean roads. You were born in the year 1910, the year 1909, the 1800s, and when you died, you had a better standard of living than Liberians who literally were born in the year 1980, 1990, 2000. You mean you didn't have like that is mind-boggling how people alive 45, 50 years ago, 60 years had better standards of living than you do.
Hmm. And it seems like there's no real push or want to go back to those high standards. I don't know why. So don't you want better?
You have people who don't care about the country. You don't have people that care about the country. You don't have your Neticia Burnells. You don't have your docents. You don't have your your Jackson Abdos. You don't have not related to Samuel Doe. You don't have your Cecil Dennis's or your Clarence Lorenzo Simpsons. You don't have that anymore. People don't. These are impetus Liberian figures, Liberian figures who served in the presidency, who were attorney generals, House of Representatives, but even your physicians, like your Thomas Flo Lewis's, your Clavinda Parker Brights. I mean, you don't have that in Liberia anymore.
No, you don't. And we
Your
have to.
answers are
And I
public.
think yeah, and I think that kind of thing needs to be recreated. That we have to make a new one. That's what that means. We have to make new. We have to make the next generation of Joseph Jenkins Roberts and all the great Liberian presidents that came out there. We have to be that new generation. We have to build something brand new. That's
Hmm.
what that means. And it's not wrong to look back at our past either because we had so much success. But what I'm saying is that we need to learn from the past and how we can bring some of that old school magic into the future and keep
Yeah,
the country going.
we gotta rebuild it. Like we
Yeah,
can't
it's
just
got
work
yeah,
on the past.
yeah. So we know what we got to do. Now we just got to put the work to it.
Yeah, and we're starting that work right now. So we do have a trip planned to go to Liberia this year. We're going the first 2 weeks of December, so December 1st,
Yeah.
to the end of those for 2 weeks. So if you want to join, let us know. Get back to us real soon. Try to get back to us as early as possible. The early as possible you get back to us, the more we know who will be coming on the trip, the more we can finish hash everything out. So if you're interested in coming, make sure you contact Hola. You message us, say express interest to us so that we know and we can accommodate you because we got some people going and it's going to be exciting. So we definitely want people to be part of it. So we're putting it out there, and we're going to keep putting it out some more. That we do have this trip going on the first 2 weeks of December, and we want you to join if you can. It's like Watchdog, we look forward to seeing you.
So it's gonna be the full 2 weeks of December then.
About 10 days.
I'm about to say it's still 10 days. I can always use the extra couple of days to hit Sierra Leone because I know I've been playing.
Oh yeah, Sierra Leone's good. Sierra Leone's good. But yeah, we're going for at least 10 days. So
can y'all hear me?
Get ready.
Yeah, you're clear, brother. You're clear.
Okay, I don't know. Having some Wi-Fi issues. Can I build a little bit?
Yeah.
The floor is yours. I gave my monologue everything that people need to know.
As you were talking, because I heard everything you said, and as you were talking, the thing that I thought about that went through my mind is what it must have felt like for people like John Henry Clark, Amos Wilson, Dr. Ben, Dale Jones, Khalid Muhammad, Malcolm X. You know, all of these people who've been preaching and telling us the things that we need to do. And had we done it in the 80s or the 90s, we'd be sitting pretty right now. But the sad part, and this is a part that I spoke to about with Jabari, is it's not like people are talking about building something or starting something. They're not even having the conversation. If we to start right now, it would be 10 to 12 years before we get something, completed. If we were to start today. The scary part is that we're not even having the conversation. All I see, and I guess in a way I'm probably the wrong person to talk to because I'm a little bit jaded at this point. Because I see when I hear people talking, all that goes through my mind is just cafe consciousness. This consciousness that you having a cafe with your legs crossed, sipping on chai latte.
That's the phrase I've been thinking about. Cafe consciousness. That's what it is. Like they just sit down,
musing and opining about the struggle.
Yeah.
And every time we want, I'm going to use, I don't know if you guys in the chat room were here on the live stream we did on Black banking, but I'm going to use that as a microcosm of what I'm talking about. Every person, I asked the question, should you as a Black person in America put your money in a Black bank? And I use specifically One United Bank. Everybody agreed. Every single person on the phone agreed. Yet, during that conversation, there was a whole bunch of pushback, a whole bunch of contention. And this is on something that we agreed on. So my question to the people in the chat room is there one fucking thing that we can agree on, that we can move on with action, where we don't have to have some back and forth and a fucking conversation about it? Is there one thing? Because I'm going to tell you, if it ain't one thing, what are we doing? What's the point? There has to be some common denominator that we can move on with action across the board. What do y'all guys think it is?
I think first we got to define who we are. Because a lot of us don't want to identify with, with certain things.
I have a solution to that.
What's that?
Turn around and look at the foot up your ass. What color is it? How come you know what makes it so frustrating, Deontay? I'm not taking this out on you. It's just why is it that when it comes to oppression, Nobody's confused about who black folks are. When it comes to putting foot up our ass, when it comes to beating up upside our head, everybody knows who black people are. But the moment we start talking about power and doing something, now it becomes ambiguous. Now we're in the cafe. Oh, well, what is black? I mean, black people ain't a monolith. It's the most super frustrating thing for me, man. When it comes to oppression, everybody know who black people is. But when it comes to power, we don't know. It becomes vague and ambiguous. We know who the fuck we are. So my question remains, what's the one action that we can do that we can all agree on that needs to be done? Or is there one?
I have it, big bro. Let me help you. Jeez, clearly you need your little bro. I got you. The one action that we all could do for black people that we all seem to agree on is nothing. As long as the action, and I'm sorry to break it like this, but I'm gonna be straight to the point. The one action that we all agree to do is nothing. We love to hear preachers preach because preachers tell us to do what? Nothing. Go into a closet and pray. We love to hear Umar Johnson now talk about snow bunnies in schools because he asks us to do what? Nothing. Send him a couple dollars, maybe. But when it comes down to actually us solving our problems, when it has to do something with behavioral change, especially, we don't want to talk about it. And it comes back to, I promise y'all, it might seem real simple, but it comes down to the lack of belief. We don't believe in the shit that we talking about, big bro. That's why we could have a conversation within our own group. And then we look around and look at each other and say, how many of these niggas you think gonna actually share this? How many of these niggas you actually think gonna do in our own group, sir? So how can we expect people from all over us to really get this message and not just get it? We all get it. We all understand it. We all internalize it and we all intellectualize it brilliantly. But when it comes down to behavioral change, the first thing that kicks in is disbelief. And then the second thing that kicks in, which is even just as damaging, is fear. And it just goes into that circle. First, we think, man, we can't do that shit. And simultaneously, it's that white man gonna come burn it. Oh, white people gonna be there too. Oh, white. We cannot get white people off our brain, and we cannot get past disbelief. I don't care how much Jesus we speak. I don't care how much holy hula we spit. We don't believe in our fucking self, sir. And I'm sorry to bring it like that, but that's the clue. That simple thing called belief. Belief. What do you fucking believe in? Who do you believe in? And it's a fact. It's a fact that we believe in white supremacy more than we believe in black excellence. Run and tell that to your people and see what they come back with. Because when it comes down to belief, you act on it. If I believe that I'm a good personal trainer and I know that people will want to train with me, I'm going to develop my own business. I'm going to leave 24-hour fitness and I'm going to open up my own shit and start having people come train with just me. Because I fucking believe in me. If I believe in myself, say, man, I've been doing this social work counseling shit, man, for 10 years and I'm sick of it. I want to learn how to build something. I'm going to go into construction. I want to learn how to harness electricity. I'm an electrician now because I fucking believed in myself. That's why. When you believe in yourself, you do shit, man. It starts with belief. And we don't even believe in ourselves as individuals. How the fuck we gonna believe in ourselves collectively? And we're staying in this place where we're told that we're nothing. So how the fuck are you gonna get the inclination to do something better? Fuck all that great, we're great, we're great. Oh my, no, show me. Show me. Call me motherfucking St. Louis, man. I'm show me, nigga. That's my new name, St. Louis. Show me. Weird ass nigga. Sorry, y'all. I'ma stop now. But it's belief. We don't believe. Simple shit.
What the crazy part is, Yamoja? Do you hear me?
I'm with you, big bro. Yeah, I'm with you.
I believe that we will do everything that we are supposed to do in Liberia. The problem is, I won't be alive to see it.
Because we need more believers. Because we need more believers.
That's how much I love my people. I'm fighting for shit that I am not going to be alive to even see.
Yeah, that's the reality. Like I said, with the time scales that it requires to do everything that I told y'all, get ports, get high speed rail. High speed rail takes 12, 15 years, 15, 25 years. Highway, 8 to 12 years. When you factor in these numbers, bro, like unless you young, like you in your
Yep.
30s,
Yep.
you gonna be elder, if not, like you said, dead when all this stuff comes about. Because if it takes us
Jabari.
25 years, and let's say you're 60 years old or you're 55 years old, 25 years is 80. You're 80 years old. You're gonna be in retirement.
Jabari, Holla, and Tay. That's one of the
Mhm.
that's one of the things that like today in this dispensation of time and what we're doing now, one of the things that frustrates me to no end is that you will hear somebody on here, regular working Black Americans, and we literally spilling out our heart for nothing. We're not asking people to go to our Patreon. We're not sending no Cash App links. Sometimes we might say something about the Leadership Academy, like, y'all, we teaching these students in Liberia $10 a help, right? But we're not asking for anything. And we are the people who need the support the most. Yet, they'll listen to Roland Martin, they'll listen to D.L. Hughley, they'll listen to these people who are already well off, especially the Roland Martins and D.L. Hugleys, and they still sending them $30 here, $40 here, $100 a month. And I'm like, what are you doing? You giving these people to tell you that your ass getting kicked. Because that's what they're telling you. They're not telling you, hey, Liberia is open for you. Hey, we have mining projects in Sierra Leone. I haven't even told y'all about that, but I don't know if y'all remember Brother Clyde. We got some stuff going on in Sierra Leone that's like super crazy, y'all. But no one's saying that. Everybody's saying, hey, y'all, vote. Hey, y'all, make sure y'all voting in the midterms. Think about that, y'all. That's what our quote unquote leaders is telling our people now. Hey, y'all, the midterms is coming up in 18 months. Make sure y'all show up at the ballot. We're in a fucking
Come into
upside
this
down world, y'all.
cafe and and drink this chai latte. Maybe we need to start investing in that.
You can build one on the continent. I'll supervise it. It'll make money.
I'm usually very articulate. I'm kind of like I don't know, man. I just don't know what else to say. You had Black History Month that just passed, right? And you couldn't get black people to put money in a black bank during Black History Month. That tells you all you really. They say where your values lie. So you know where young women where their values lie in Chris Brown photos. I hear that we ain't got no money, but we got $1,000 to play Chris Brown for a photo.
Ugh, don't do that to them. Let them live.
Nah, nah. But you got enough disposable income to pay a nigga $1,000 for a picture. And I ain't just gonna get on them. Let's get on the press. What's the pressing issues in the so-called black community amongst our people? It ain't infrastructure. It ain't building the seaport or building the airport, building roads and highways, creating industries. No, the big, huge pressing issue in our community is Fat Joe.
And to
Tethers.
the and to the people listening to us, the things that Big Bro is about to mention right now, these are also things that our quote unquote leaders are interested in. Our leaders, if you go on their talk shows, they're still talking about the Democrats and Republicans. They're still talking about each other. You'll have Stephen A. Smith and Roland Martin arguing. This is what they're doing. I gotta give a little credit to Stephen A. Smith. Every now and then he will say something completely solid about them people, but it's almost in passing, so I don't count it much. But what I wanna impart on our people is we have to stop supporting these people who are not really telling us to do anything. Why aren't they talking about building schools in our communities? For instance, they talking about dropping the segregation stuff, right? I'm like, this is a perfect opportunity to say, cool, we want black schools. And when you guys say that this racist, we're going to point to, no, we need this legally because this, and that. But we don't want to do that because why? It seems like we want it to be white stuff. We want to go to school with white people. We don't think we can have our own schools, even here in America. So what I'm trying to say, y'all, is stop supporting the people who are not telling us to do things. Stop being comfortable with doing nothing and just letting our people be just downtrodden. Is this not frustrating for y'all? Does this not hurt your soul? Black men, I'm talking to black men. Does this not make you feel less of a man? That there's not a school in your city that's black. And if you don't think you need it, does that not bother you too? And I'm being very serious. Does it not bother you that we don't have our own black things everywhere? And do you not think that we need them? Do you really feel that you're so much a part of American society that all these institutions and all these things are coming back to you and your community and your people, and you're going to leave a legacy in those institutions? Is that what you think? Or do you not care? Man, we have to care about something bigger than just big asses, man, and big cars. We have to. We have enough of that. We got a lot of that. There's not a shortage of big ass and big cars, y'all. We got that. We got that shit covered.
Can y'all see the screen?
Wow. Why am I not surprised? Claude Anderson's been talking about that for years. Oh boy.
Makes this live stream poignant. Are we not running out of time? And what is the solution to the median wealth of black Americans falling to zero by 2050? What is the solution? What are the black talking heads and all of the people that everybody respects so much that they give them their hard-earned money? What are they saying is the solution to this? I guess that's a
We got
rhetorical question.
I guess a reparations check will help. If the way things are going, you might pay your electric bill with one of them checks.
You know, there was a story about a black woman who decided that she was going to date a prisoner who was put for murder. He murdered 4 people.
Hmm?
So she decided to get into a relationship with him. So she went in to visit him in a conjugal visit, and guess what he did?
He killed him.
Yes. So the question, as Umoja eloquently put it, is what do we really want?
Okay,
Because
so
every action has an equal and opposite reaction. There's going to be consequences and repercussions, in the immortal words of Eddie Murphy, for your decisions. Are we going to have a future as a people? Or is we going to? This is the scariest thing that I've ever heard. It sent a chill down my spine when I heard it, and Amos Wilson said it. He said that black folks are either going to get power or we're going to merge into invisibility with white people. If that don't put a chill down your spine and scare you, if not for yourself, if you're a selfish motherfucker, what about for your grandkids and your children? We would rather merge into invisibility with the dominant white culture than to have our own. look at yourself in the mirror and accept that. I don't want nothing to do with you. If that doesn't disturb your spirit, you're not worthy of being in my presence. We hit the hour.
Yeah. I mean that whole thing just shook me, fam. So you have to excuse me.
It's real, man. It's like we're sitting up here doing absolutely nothing when we could be making moves as simple moves that don't require blood and urine samples for people to do. We said if you want to flex in America, put your money in the black bank. Start an account. That's a flex. Because if enough people do it and enough you get a groundswell of support, it can put that bank on another level, and it can also once we get it officially started up and supported here in America, we can make it international and go from African country to African country and expand. But right now, in my humble opinion, and this is just me, we need a W in the win column for morale.
Oh, I agree.
And I think that that's a great W in the win column. If we see that the black bank has amassed 50 to 70 billion, hell yeah. That's a W in the win column as far as I'm concerned. But that's all I have to say. Did anybody have any other things they want to get off their chest?
No,
Last thing, last thing I want to say when you talk about that W, I want to I want to ask the question: who gives Nielsen the report on the spending that we do? Who's doing our census? Who knows who's doing accounts for schools and everything else? Who? What organization is doing that? That's a serious question because I'm very doubtful that it's a black one, and that is black people counting the black census.
Oh, you got that right.
So what I'm getting to is the fact that like when we gonna start taking ourselves serious?
Mm-hmm.
Why would anybody else?
That's a good question, bro. I've always said that each black person has to look at themselves because since we don't have an organization, this is what has to happen. Each person has to look at themselves and ask themselves, what am I doing to help black people in the future gain power? What am I doing personally? Each black person has to do that.
Yeah.
So
The answer is pretty clear for me. I already know what I get from having LIN. Like that's not even a fucking like.
we have the Liberia Leadership Academy and their struggle. If we had 20 week, that school would be fully funded. There's 50 million people in America and 20 that's willing to support the school. But if I was Chris Brown, you support me. Because Chris Brown is giving you what you want. So at the end of the day, I mean, is there really anything wrong? Because if our people collectively want the position that they're in, then what's the problem? That's just a rhetorical question. Anyway, y'all, are y'all gonna be on the lounge tonight?
Oh, definitely. I ain't got nothing to do till Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be there.
I wish there was some way to leave on a positive note, but it
Hey, I'll
is
leave
what
you
it
with
is.
this. I'll leave you with the words of the great, I think it's E. Franklin Frazier, who said the phrase, a hard truth is better than a merry lie. He said that in the Black Bourgeoisie, and he said, listen, a hard truth, a hard sad truth is better than a merry lie. So I know it hurts, but we have to give you reality of what things are, not how things would like to be.
You think anybody's
I
gonna
think.
pass this around, this link around, so other people can hear this live stream? You think that's gonna happen?
Well, I think that we can leave on something semi-positive. The fact that just because you ain't doing that now, don't mean you can't be doing that in 10 minutes. For
That's
real.
true.
You still can change your mind, just like you do about other stuff every day.
Yep. I'm gonna tell them what me and Yamoja have done. We took our One United Bank card, took a picture of it in our hands, and we posted it on our social medias and we tagged One United Bank and we put tag Black Bank. A few other of our people have done the same thing, so we're trying to get the ball rolling, so to speak, to get people posting up the card and saying that they support the bank, and hopefully it'll catch on. We're doing all we can as little people who don't really have the power. We're all working class people and we do this stuff in our spare time. We're not paid to do it. I take great pride in the fact that my channel is demonetized from the very beginning. I never monetize my channel because I'm not trying to make money off of black folks. I have a job. That's how I get my money and take care of myself. I don't need to beg people for money. So I don't have any ads popping up and I can say whatever the fuck I want to say because I don't have to worry about advertisers pulling from my channel. I think we can do the same thing as a people and have our own shit where we don't have to, you know, what do they call it? Code our language and do all this other crazy stuff and pretend that we're not who we are just so we can fit in with these people.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But anyway, see you guys tonight. Love you all. And I will holler at
Love y'all. In a
peace.
minute.
Love y'all. Peace, everybody.